Good morning, my friends, and here we are on Thursday, the 30th of November. Man, look how close we're getting to Christmas. Hope you guys are all ready. Well, it's a Thursday reversal day, as they say. And we've had a nice little swing high take out previous day's highs yesterday in S&P. Let's look at this. This little high right here, look at that, just cleaned it out. Got a nice reaction off of that. So that impulse leg there, get down into the lower time frames and try and create a play off of this. I have a breaker here. We're already through that one, so I like this idea of returning to this order block right here. Last down close candle before we run it up above these old highs. So return to here inside that fair value gap. That's kind of like the rule we're looking for. Very confident. I have, as usual, let me just double check, make sure the session is live today. We're up and running. We are up and running. There we be. Okay. Get that out of the way. All right, let's start going back to the play here. Let's look what we've got going on. Good morning, Darren. Just opened YouTube, and it said you started 30 seconds ago. Yes, I did. Good timing, Adam. Okay, these are all 1 minute. What are we at? 7:21. So we got the relative equal highs. Higher high, higher high, lower high. NASDAQ failed to make the higher high. What I got here, so I was confident if it doesn't go back to the premium, that's a killer comment on how down it wants to go. And I need to stop. Candle is my high, 847. Looking for around 16,060. It's a little low here. So we have a consolidation. Are we going to start breaking up? Back to the consolidation, running for highs. breaker. This whole section would be like a 5-minute breaker. Running these lows. Fill that fair value gap. On the 1 minute, we have a lower low, equal lows, higher lows. So this NASDAQ refused to make a lower low. Equal lows. I'd like to see the Dow get back to here. Here's an oldie but a goodie. What do you think about today? I have no bias given. It could be Wednesday of the week, and I'm overall still bullish high. Inside day maybe. Depends on how the open's going to be. Yeah. I'd like to see a return to this impulse leg here that took out this high. ES is making lower low. Dow isn't. Nasdaq is. That's the open. Oh, ES is taken off. Dow's going to run the running their lows. Dow does not run its low, it's running higher. I like this one here. Here we go. Crap, that's right where I had it. I like this one here. Inside that fair value gap fill. This is the run and take out these highs. Or even up in here. So I'm going to stick that right up in there. These guys aren't making the highs. This guy's making the high. Crap, that's it right there. Take out the lows. Take out the low. Turn to order block. Still hasn't cleaned out the highs here yet. That's taking the lows. Good morning, Sir Derek. How you doing, buddy? Well, we did not get our rule for ES this morning so far. But 10 o'clock's a ways away yet. I think we're going to get some ripping back and forth here. I still like our rule, Derek, for the impulse leg. It takes out the high. Damn, that was the rule yesterday, and I had this thing sitting right here like this for our rule. There's the impulse leg. Fair value. Ping, hit it, head for the lows. The Dow did it. I was focusing on the euro to do it. I had that sitting right there. And then I moved it up because I like maybe this guy, but it's still inside that guy. So if that's the impulse leg there, oh, we still might get it. There's a small little imbalance in here too. And there's fair value there for the last breaker candle. So, okay, so now it's hitting it. I want to see these guys do that. I want to see it come back up into that range. And ES had I was looking for a Model 1 set up there. What an ugly 15-minute candle, up and down all over. He's bringing what to the yard to sale in NASDAQ. He's capitalized this, sir. This is saying, how many times do you want me to let you get on here, Darren? Why is it, Derek, we have the rule, but we won't follow it? It's popped up several times here now. Said, here, you want it? Take it. Come back. Here, you want it? Take it. $16,011. I may be lucky just to get 50% of this. Well, Joseph should be in a nice little run here. I was kind of hoping it would get back into this initial candle for that run up. I guess it did right here. No. $15,962. Well, that was the big reversal day. That's heading for those Fair Value Gap we looked at, equal lows. Well, it's fun to call it, but it's no good if we don't get in on it. Joseph saw the run after yesterday's PM session, run the high on the PM session yesterday in, was it ES? For the rundown. So we're just looking for something to get on with here. So 15-minute candle. This one did not take out the PM session from yesterday. Got PM sessions low now. They're not leaving anything for us to get on this morning there, Derek. Yeah, down here in Asia session. Wednesday's the high of the week. I'm gonna go here. Let's move that along. the 20th as well, hey? Yeah, moving up before the rest of the desert would be a test that we could see if they're about to get higher to give us room to get in. Yeah, we've got nothing right now. Oh. Yes, yesterday, yes, could be today. We'll stop before taking out the 1538. Not sure what. See higher. That's just getting ready for another charge down, boys. That's what's just gathering its wits for another big push. It's like a coiled tiger right now. It's just getting ready to pounce down for a big drive. 15,999 as an equilibrium point. Yeah, I agree. Two more minutes. Is Dr. Jody in with us now? I don't know. Is Dr. Jody here with us? Hello, Dr. Jody. The doctor's in the house. Is she in the house? Is she with us here, Derek? Or is she just here in spirit? We would put your hands together around the table. Here's the 10 o'clock. Hello, Jody. Welcome, welcome. Well, welcome, Jody. You're here for the crazy Thursday reversal day. What is the deal with this price? If it creates a new low now, I'll be tempted to changing directions. Yeah. We didn't get a chance to get back into the 50% of that range. New low, away you go. Let's look over here and see what we got. What would that give us? Would that give us that? Yeah, we'd be getting rid of all these lows in here. If that next price leg down continues, we're looking for here. No, we didn't. We are awful high in price, so maybe it will be crashing down. Yeah, I think we're heading for those fair value gaps on the daily now. This stuff down here. We're into this. This would be into the order block threshold. It'll push us right down to the threshold here. We're now in this inversion fair value gap on the opposite side of the daily. We'd be digging into that. We're right at the top of it right now. So if this is going to hold price off the top of that order block, you'd want to see it hold it here and then reverse and start coming back up. Otherwise we have this whole area to play in here again, which is order block. And then we're back into that fair value gap daily here. Feelings, nothing more than feelings. Oh, but we're not even 1% drop in NASDAQ today yet, and Dow is Still up 240 points. Ooh, that's 15,796. So Jody, I hear this is your entrance into the futures Forex trading, looking at these wonderful things which are up and down candles, and wondering how men can get so excited about watching these blue and yellow candles going up and down. We're easily amused. We're very easily amused. So return to fair value, yeah, returning to here, reaction off of here. Now you can continue going lower, or if we're going to push up into higher, we got this guy up here, breaker right here. Look at that, react off there, nice. Come back to this. This is an order block here. So this is a down close candle. That's an up close candle. This down close candle, it gets validated as a candle when we get above it right here. That validates it. And this up close candle gets validated when we get below it right there. So it's not valid yet, but this guy is. This guy here, we got below it. Now yes, all these other ones we've got below those as well, but that becomes a swing point. Lots to learn. I'll try and make it just keep it simple to look for when candles get validated first. That's a down close, up close. Down close gets validated when we get above it. Up close or candles get validated when we get below them. Silver bullet party. Oh, that would be the turning point, like we looked at on the daily, for this to just turn around and rip it right back up and clean out these old highs here. You're right, Derek. That would be a beautiful little silver bullet entry right there. Or this is a silver bullet entry to go short. That's the 1002. Yeah, you got either one of them short. Yeah, that's a silver bullet short. That would be the best bet too. Yeah, there's a ton of things. So what we're looking for is these little gaps here that happen at 10 o'clock, after 10 o'clock. So there's a little gap there, a little gap there. So as soon as these gaps form after 10 o'clock, we're just looking for a candle to trade back into them so we can get short on them. Or if this was for instance, this is a little gap right here. If we could trade back into it to get long on it. Now when we got conflicting ones where you've got down and now you've got up, you have to ask yourself, what's the bias? What's the overall bias of the day? Well, it looks short. So there's a strong likelihood off that low, inside that little space there, that we can continue going down. So that would be what we call a silver bullet setup to run down below these lows and hopefully head down for the next price leg down here. I'm not touching it because it's kind of a conflict of interest for me. So it's either this one or this one. So I wait for the 12 candle to let me know. If not 12, it'll be 17. Odd numbers, I know, but so now we're looking for validation above. We come back, we can touch it and leave. I'm trying to give you an example of a touch it and leave candle. Ah, here we go. See this up candle right here? Let me get this out of the way here. So you see that up candle right there? Remember I was saying, as you validate it the moment we get below it right here. See? Right there. And it finishes, and then this candle opens, comes back up, goes dink, touches it here, and there's key levels inside that candle that will teach you over time. But it literally goes down below it, comes back up, tags it, and then starts to leave. Now you say to yourself, yeah, well, how did you know that was going to tag that one, Darren? It looked like it tagged this one as well. Well, that is an up close candle. If you look up here, you'll see close prices and open prices. So we want the open price to be lower than the close price. So if I go here, you'll see the open price is 40.00 and the close price is 40.25. So that one's just slightly higher. So that is a up close candle, even though it's really tiny. You see it comes down, comes back up. Look at that. Pink tags it perfectly and then leaves. Now it's not always going to happen on every single up close candle. So that's just the basic idea of what an order block or a candle, when it gets validated, when we come back and when we touch it. So just kind of keep your eyes on that kind of thing set up for today, and then we can slowly start building on your knowledge base for what do we look for inside that candle when it comes back, and why does it only tag the wick sometimes, the body or the middle or the bottom. There's like key levels that we can talk about later, but just a basic understanding of what this candle's doing and how it validates this one. And when this candle gets validated, right there, we're validated below it. So that's a valid candle on a downside. This is a valid candle on an upside. Now we're not going down, so this candle doesn't mean anything to us right now. It only means something if it's a swing, as in this case, we've broke above and come back down to the swing point. Now we're going higher. So here's that silver bullet set up. We're eating through it. That's why I'm not I don't want to trade this when we have one going down, one going up. We've come into it here. So this to me is the silver bullet long into this leg here. And we'll teach you more about legs. We could just keep overwhelming you with tons of information. For now, just keep looking at the basic order block setup. Yeah, you're right, Derek. It's gonna move. I think it's moving up. We're into this 10 o'clock silver bullet now. Here's the 10 o'clock candle. So if we run into here and hit these two up close candles. Now, sorry, Dr. Jordy, I'm going to overwhelm you a bit here. These two candles, or we'll use the rule. It basically is the last up close candle before a run below an old low constitutes what's referred to as a breaker. It's an order block, but now it gets its own fancy names. It changes names. So it runs below that low. So we add them together when they're side by side, and see how we tag the bottom, almost tag the bottom of it here. So we're inside this silver bullet setup for 10 o'clock. So this is in a premium range. So you're inside that fair value gap now. If price is going to continue down, it'll do it in here. Yeah, it's in premium. I'm with you, Derek. The overall bias looks down, and we're in that fair value gap. Silver bullet set up for 10 o'clock. If we lose this breaker, then I'd look for this to be an inversion, turn into an inversion. So that's called a SIBI, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. It tells you, Jody, that price has only been delivered on the downside and not the upside. So that's a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. That's inefficiently delivered on the buy side. When you have a candle that, like this would be all sell side, buy side. That's all even delivery in price. But when you get these little gaps, they create, this is called a BISI, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. So we have no sell side with a wick or anything down on this side. So we're looking for, so now we've come right up into that breaker. Now typically you get a reaction off of a breaker and we'd start coming back down. But if we eat through this, then this SIBI has now been balanced right up to there. Now if we get above it and pop down on top of it, it now becomes an inversion fair value gap. So inversion, so it inverts. So that's another, they get all these names. We want to name things. We like to name things. So we've got above it right here. We came back, traded into it here. We're also into the consequent encroachment, guys, of that SIBI or inversion fair value gap now, and now we're looking for a run up. So to me that was the silver bullet. Good. So now we've got up more upside. So here's the, we've run above the highs now. We have another fair value gap here. This will be a fair value gap. If this candle does not come back to here, that will now become a BISI. But we won't know it's a BISI until this candle closes. This candle's been validated above, so now we want to return to it, or that breaker looks really sexy now. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, things get sexy too. Candles get sexy over time, and that's a sexy candle. At least that's what your brother-in-law calls it. I'm kidding. Look at that. We wicked above it, opened right on top of these equal highs here, on top of that breaker. Lovely. That's why men enjoy trading. This is true. So what I'd like to see now is a return to this fair value gap inside that breaker for more upside prices. That daily candle that we were talking about as that turning point looks like there's a turn there, even though it's slight right now. That is holding price, even if it's for a short-term run up here. So we can't count out this is not still bullish on NASDAQ. I'm going to go along there. I'm going to put my stop loss down. Oops. Oh, I have to put it a little lower than that. I'm just going to go grab a coffee. Let's see if that breaker holds. Okay. That's not looking good. $16.10 inside the fair value at 5 minute. Huddleston shorted. He shorted ES. Yeah, that's a good call. Laurie, good call, buddy. Off the breaker. Off the order block. Short. Order block, short. Good. Run these lows out. Oh, I'm taking out. Well, that breaker didn't hold for me coming up. I was kind of hoping that would make support me coming back down, but different story at the 30-second chart. Ran through it, came back to it. get on the right side of this now. I think my stop loss is always way too short. I'm just going to close that out. Well, you're in a breaker here. You come back to this breaker. This is S&P. I wonder if I can open that up a bit more. Consolidation's not fun. We're in the premium of the AM session still. Just going down into the discount now. So, let's look at NASDAQ. Yeah, it looks pretty heavy, eh? I like to see it go up a bit more inside the fair value gap of 930. Yeah. This will be it for me today. If it reaches my objective, 4 level, I'll just move that down a touch bit more. Right there. I'll sell it again if it gets to 15.92. Off this guy, you mean? I just want that 4, that leg, impulse leg there, or impulse leg to take these highs out. That 4 level. Would have been nice to be able to recognize that right away, but again, still working on that. I've never done these. The 10 o'clock, take out the high. This is the 10 o'clock. This is the 10:30, 10:18. Gonna lock in my $1,300 because I lost I lost 800 on that last trade, so I'm at least break even here. I'll make a bit of bucks before I leave today. I have to take off to my doctor soon, so you might get that return, Derek. This might just come back and take me out here. There we go. Come on down. Bingo. All right. That's the 4-banger. And it's still got more downside. That's the leg we're looking at. Oh, that one's actually higher, so that would be right there. Now that leg's done. Doesn't mean to say it's not over and not going deeper, but that leg has been completed there now. Okay. So, thank you again. Oh, by the way, we didn't know this. Lauriston's birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, buddy. He didn't tell us. He was so focused on the charts that he forgot his own birthday, or he didn't even remember his own birthday, which is, it's sad, but happy birthday, buddy. You're looking just as handsome as you were the day before. Thanks to Joseph for this too, this little run above when you get these impulse legs, and this is what Derek was exploring yesterday. Thanks, Derek, man. You got some these impulse legs that take out old highs right around the 9:30, 10 o'clock range, and then you do that 4-banger all the way down. It was like spot on today. Spot on. Now, how do we get in on this a little earlier, right? We have an inversion, a fair value gap here. Inside that, you come back up. We traded, the body trades below. I want you to see this part so you can see how freaking awesome it looks. So there's an inversion, fair value gap there. We traded, the bodies traded below it. We traded back up inside it. The bodies of the candles respect the high. The wicks do the damage. And then you're short below. There's another reason to say, oh, we are absolutely running below that low. If that's the impulse leg, as soon as we get below that low, that's what makes it the impulse leg confirmation. We have a fair value gap. If we get back to it, that's Derek's and my rule. Well, it's my rule. I can't speak for Derek, but my rule is if it comes back into that, you're short it there. That impulse leg's been validated, and we never did quite get back to it, but if you can get in there, so then you wait for the next kind of setup. Well, the only other setup left is right here, order block, trade below it. We come back inside the order block, get short there. And then head for your 4-banger from there. You would have had just over 2 from there. So happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Lorson. And we do take birthday requests. Those of you who else are here? Jody, when it's your birthday, you let us know. And then me and the boys will sing to you in capital texts. How's that? Is Jody still here? Is Dr. Jody still here? Here she is. Please do. Yep, just put up your birthday request and we start a whole new YouTube viral edition. The Marilyn Monroe viral edition. Okay, well that little four banger's done. Remove. So you still got that there's still on the hourly, you got your fair value gap down here still. Breaker right here. Well, not really, it's more mitigation, but it's the parent breaker of that whole run up. So you go into this guy here now, this breaker. And you're just chowing through that one, no problem. You're into the consolidation now. You're right. Laurie, I think you're right, buddy. I think you're gonna... This could be the drive for the day. What a freaking reversal, man. Look at that. Equal lows. Oh, you already ran the low out there already. You're right into the top of this fair value gap here now. Yeah, you're digging into this one now. Yeah. Yeah, that silver bullet. When you get those double silver bullets, you get those, I think the 10 o'clock one. Where's the 10 o'clock one? 9, 10. Even that one you couldn't get in on because that would have taken your stop out. That's why I was like, oh, okay, this one looks like a breaker. And now we've run above with a body, come back in. That breaker should provide support if we're going, turn it around. That's why I got stopped out. And then you get, okay, so I'm on the wrong side. How do you get back on the right side? We really didn't have a lot to get back in on here, other than this inversion fair value gap right here. we came back to it there to get short, and that's the only way I could pick up my, retrace my loss there. So you got this guy here is inside that fair value gap right there. We just tagged it for further downside. Inside that order block return to. I see what you want in terms of a premium though, of a little range that's created, Derek. You want to catch some sort of premium area so that you can get short on that, right? At least if you can get back to this parent breaker of this run up here. Oh, you missed this one here? Yeah, that's the only way I could kind of get back on side again, which was looking for that inversion. So what about this thing? I'm just wondering if this is a, not that I'm trying to rub this into you, Derek, because I'm not. If you would have got just that little range right there, 50% of that range is right there. So there's a premium to get short as well, just in that little swing right there. Sorry, I'm not trying to rub it in, but I just look at these little swing points as confluences as well. Yeah. I like that, because if we hold here now, and as silly as this sounds, this is the new little swing to swing point range. See the 50% right there? Hit it and leaving. So if we drop the bottom out of that one there, there's a 50% premium discount range. But it's hard, it's, you know, I get it. It's kind of hard to say, well, we're in a discount and you're asking for premiums and discounts, and price is already well left the 10 o'clock run here, and you're asking me to get in on a little tiny premium discounts here to keep going down when a big chunk of the day has already been blocked out, right? If you really think it's going to keep hammering down today, and then some little quick opportunity to get in for a quick run below these lows, then I kind of keep pulling these fib tools on these little mini ranges, which is interesting because if I take this, I'm just going to try something here, just out of curiosity. If I go here and I use my quarters one, 25% of that little range there, if that gets worked, 50% hasn't been hit yet. If we get a retracement back in, 50% will bring you right back into your breaker again. And if it doesn't, there's your 25%. No, even that hasn't got hit. That's that last up close candle there before this little run swing below that swing. We just came back and tagged the bottom of it right here for the breaker inside the fair value gap. If that runs that low out now, that was the entry there. And obviously these are super low risk or super low leverage. You're so tiny on the 1 minute chart. Yes. Sorry, I can make him a little bigger. Make it look more sexier. thing is this, as we get later on in the day, you start to go, wait a second, now is this one even remotely sexy anymore for low? Like, because we're getting after 11 o'clock now. So 11 o'clock usually makes that little low, right? Which we later come back to in lunch and take out, right? So if we don't continue down into 11 o'clock, and now we've done our 10 o'clock run, the high to the low, that we're going to come back into this range here. This looks much nicer so that you can start your lunch hour and run the lows before lunch. Or are we going to retrace all the way back in? But that lunchtime low looks like it's going to, this looks like a low that you'd look for a 1 p.m. run. If we don't come back up in here, a 1 p.m. run, like if you pull that whole range created in the AM session now, and we start going into the lunch session, if you pull the FIP, I'm just dropping ideas, so you guys tell me I'm full of caca if I'm off base here. But 50% of the range that was just created in the AM session puts us back in the middle of these little equal highs here, and back to this breaker right here, that 2-minute breaker, apparent breaker of that whole run leg down. That's what I'm talking about. So just to return to this spot here would take out these old highs, put you back just over the premium range, just to drive back down to take out lunch lows. What do you guys think of that as a possibility? Or am I just on Fantasy Island? Just say, yeah, you're crazy, Tattoo. You are crazy, Tattoo. Okay, here's a breaker. Now, do you take this, Derek? Here's my question. Do you want to take this and hopefully keep driving down into lunch? Now, if we see this breaker start to get eaten through, that 4-banger that we called up here hit right on the money, did it not? And then it's reversing now. Look at that pocket here. You're into the threshold now. Sorry, let me make this a little bit bigger. Oh, you did sell it. Good man. All right, let's see if it works. You're back inside that little fair value gap. You're in 50% of that range. Come on, Derek. Three PD arrays at a time. Fair value gap. Come on. Hold that one. Yeah. Are you all done, Jody? You've watched the men play their video games long enough? Did your brother ever pop in, Derek? Come on, you want this hold. This inversion fair value gap at least to hold. No, he's working. He's too young to stop working yet. For sake of argument, we'll say that's the breaker. Last down close candle before run above an old high. You just tagged it there. That's technically a propulsion candle because it didn't break any high. That would be the breaker for a run above these highs here, above these highs here. Yes, Derek, you got it, buddy. Get on it. No, I don't want to see it come back to these equal highs and leave. I want to see it eat through that. You got to get through this breaker down here now. Relative equal lows. I just don't think that's going to go right now until after lunch or during lunch. What do I know? If you lose this high, look for maybe let's see if we lose that high. I think that puts us close to 50% of the day. No, you're good. You're good to at least down in here. Could you go over why that candle is the breaker rather than the lower one? This one here, so the rule is basically the last down close candle before a run above an old high. Well, we do have a swing point right here. Then we have another candle right here. So that swing point there, this becomes the breaker because it's the last down close candle before a run above that high and that high. This one did not run above anything, like that little impulse leg there before it created another turn. It didn't create a swing above anything. Therefore, it's a mitigation block. And then that is the breaker because it's the last down close candle before, and there's a swing point here. Swing there. That one there. You could say that's the parent breaker of that whole run up there. If you go into a higher time frame, for example, if I go into 5 minutes or something like that. Oh no, 5 minutes is too much. Let's go into a 2 minute maybe. Have we got a 2 minute? I think it's just 2. Now that one becomes the breaker. That's the last run up because it's inside. That thing there is all consumed inside that candle, so that runs above that high. So there's your breaker, that guy there. So just 1 minute jump separates that. That little guy there would be the more precise way of getting into it. and it came back and tagged it perfectly there. You're still inside the mitigation block, but there's a breaker there. Anyway, that's how I would describe it. I know some people might think differently, and then you could say, well, if this is the breaker, it's not the strongest breaker of that whole run because it's got a little swing point in it. So I like to call them parent breakers, and is a parent breaker. So it's the lowest body candle on a leg that goes all the way up eventually and breaks that high. You could say that would be the parent of that run, but the true breaker is right there, I think. We have a new week opening gap low at 15,874. Yes, we do. There's that sucker way over here on the hourly. I like it. Right in here. I think you got yourself a little runner there, buddy. Here you go. Oh, Derek, I want this to work for you, man. I want you to hammer that. Take this, run the day. Laura, you still in this? You've been running this all day? I'm sure Joseph's been on a tear today. I got a few minutes left and I gotta go. Why can't my doctor be around the corner? It'd be so much easier than driving 2 hours one direction just to go to my doctor. It's a 4-hour drive day today. I'm just enjoying Derek's run here. Get through this guy now. Don't hold up. Let's go. Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking at, because this breaker here now is the parent breaker here of that big run up, but this guy here, you got to see it eat through it now, that fair value gap. Inversion, fill, order block. Yeah, you've worked this whole candle up multiple times here. This guy hasn't been hit. I think you still got more downside. Oh, it's only 9, 10, 11, 12. You still got another 11 o'clock. Yeah, usually it's the low, that 11 o'clock low is what I think the macro reaches for it after lunch. No passion, I have to get out. $15.9 12. Well, that'll give you some profits anyway. Like you're just above here, this net 59.12. So you're right at that order block. Yeah, I don't want to see this inversion let go, but we could be returning to that order block here. Wick through this. What is the body close in here? An inversion. And you're inside this guy here for that run down. Swing up, swing down. Inside him. You don't want to see that give way now. Though you can come all the way up here inside that guy. Ah, yeah, you've broken that high. It's going to come back for you, my friend. That order block there is a target. Yeah, that order block's target. Yeah. Well, you had the suspicion about that killing it, right? So now you got to develop a rule for yourself. For if you see a fair value gap with a breaker sitting right there, you think, man, breakers we know are super strong. We got a fair value gap sitting right here. If we're going to come back to a position of potential strength, what's my rule? Well, if there's, and if I could share with you, if there's a fair value gap above and you break it with a body, that's the hint for me that we're going to go up. So if you open on above that inversion now, and you come back, tag it, to me that's got further upside to run. So we're inside that fair value gap inversion now. That's just generally the rule that I use right there. As soon as it starts to give you that little hint that, oh, look, we're heading higher to a premium array. If we pull that fib tool from there to there, where did it go? This will be annoying if it runs down now. 62% retracement. '70 puts us inside the inversion. Look for this mitigation block here. Now mitigation blocks don't tend to be very strong, so if we blow through here, look for this guy, and we've already eaten through him. Like, as soon as we validated him here, we ran all the way through those PD arrays. 1, 2, 3. Then we cut back again. We ran 1, 2, and into the third again. Then came back through 1. So if we blow through this, I expect this to be lost. Yeah, I'd love to be able to get back for this afternoon's run. My appointment's at 12 o'clock. Who's Joseph? Sorry, Joseph is a fellow that was in here. Sorry, I missed your question there, Adam. Joseph is a fellow that when I first started this about a couple of months ago, Joseph came in and he's got a very interesting way of, he focuses a lot on, well, I shouldn't say, I'm just speculating, I don't know everything he focuses on, but he showed us this swing projections, taking out a swing projection, and he likes to do 50% fibs of swing projection returns and that kind of stuff. So he likes to point those out, and he put one out today in the Breakfast Club on Skype. We have a little group, same kind of group you see here. Some of us have a Skype channel, and you're welcome to pop in on that if you're interested. We just pop in there and have a little discussion offline sometimes, and discuss what we see in the charts. So if you're interested in popping in on that, you're welcome to. And Joseph pops in there. He was on here for a bit, and now he's already funded and doing his own thing. This might be more of a distraction for him than anything else. Joseph's a young trader. He's used to work for the military. He's an engineer, smart guy. Whew. Like a whip, like a crack whip. Super organized. He's the one that got me even involved in this, wanting to do TradingView. So you can thank Joseph for the charts, because he convinced me to go to TradingView and go through all that I've been through with TradingView for buying data and all that nightmare. But it definitely makes a cleaner chart, easier to identify for sure. So we're inside that inversion fair value gap. See that right there? Inversion. We're still inside it. Bodies are respecting it. We're just wicking up. So you're between this guy here now and this guy here, from premium and discount fair value gaps. We're in a tight little part of a range here and getting choppy. So look for this body candle here. We're basically inside this candle here. This guy and these guys are inside that one. And the opens are in the same place. Yeah, it sucks when you get the stop placement ends up, like I was looking at $700-800. I'm like, that's not what I normally like to do. It throws me off because I look at dollar value and I shouldn't. I should just be looking at, if the dollar value bothers me so much, I should just keep dropping it. So look for the return to this on that body. We got the wick now. So we came down into that fair value gap here. Now we're back up into, are we going to tag the edge of this one? Because we wick through the middle one, which is more of the equilibrium fair value gap. Well, we are respecting that guy. Interesting. I'm trying to make sense of this. See how that 50% mark is? There's an equilibrium right in the, well, that equilibrium has a fair value gap of its own. You have one at premium, one discount, and one right at the equilibrium. So we've run up to the premium one, we've run down to the discount one, and run back into the equilibrium run, and now we're rejecting off of that. That's all good signs. We've hit off that little breaker right there, run below this low right there. We hit it, reject off of it. Breakers are so strong, I love them. And then the PD array is order block, threshold. So we're between these two candles now. We're compressing. So hit the breaker, back to the threshold, here, threshold, back up, order block double, either reaching for this part here now, and that next PD array. There you go. Mind you, we're just above that into the wick a bit more. I would like to have seen the body, but we'll make it another push up. Yes, I certainly can, my friend. Stand by. $312. Way to go, Joseph. Nerve-wracking for no reason. It's okay, buddy. You got live money in there. You made $300 today. Good for you. There you go, Adam. Pop on in. Join the fun. And the same rules apply there as they do here. Nobody disses anybody. No trolls. Everybody be nice to each other. We're all about respecting each other and bouncing ideas off of each other and helping each other out. Not that you're a troll, just something I have to kind of just set it out there. Five-minute chart looks bearish for sure. Yeah, we're through that. If that's a 5-minute candle and we went through it to validate it, we're through the threshold easily. So rejection blocks the only thing I can see left here. If we start going into a little messy sideways, rejection block, back up. I can't see much else in there. We're back in that fair value gap again now. See how the body dropped below it? That's a better sign for me. Oh, it's off by just a few little slivers there. We'll get through the order block. That breaker's holding. She's holding tight. Like a tiger. That's twice it's bounced off the body here now, hey? It'll come back up into order block, breaker. So breaker to breaker now. Run below the low. We hit that breaker. Schmuck. Alright, now we've got equal lows. Threshold's the only thing left for this guy to bounce off of, or that guy there, if you were looking at the old parent breaker we were talking about. So we'll see what happens at this threshold. There's the threshold. Oh, hit it, was like, ooh, am I supposed to stop here? I love the way it hits it, backs up. On the seconds charts, that's just, that reacted to something. Now it's driving through. There we go. So there's the next one, and you're done. You're in. Yoo-hoo! Away you go. Rejection block. Come on. Push. It's a rejection block. Come on. Get some legs now. You could almost see that looking at the 1 second there, running back up into a premium array before it ran back down again. Back up into order block here. We're going to get below this candle's low. And then it's the same thing as we talked about up here. Rinse and repeat. We got a lower one and a higher one. Lower one and a higher one. Swing point, swing point. Breaker, when we get below it, like we did here, come back into it. That's the guy we're looking for, not this guy. This guy would be the mitigation block. That one would be the breaker. So that's a rinse and repeat right there. Those two. If we get the same thing happening. Order block. So now this gets interesting, because if it was just the rejection block and we get back into that range, and that 11 o'clock low is the one that holds for lunch again, we may revisit this breaker one more time. Would it sweep the November 16th low today? Afternoon session, sure, possible. Can run up here and then start booking her down for a bigger price leg. If not today, it'll take her out tomorrow. I think you'd be happy to reach this breaker today. Again, parent breaker. Oh, I guess it's a swing point there. Swing point there. Yeah, you could say it's a breaker. It ran these guys out here. Stronger ones here though. Run some significant highs. So we're already through that. If you lose that one atom, then yeah, these are quite possible if we're in a charge. Now, I really got to get going. I'm going to be late here. So we had order block. Now we finally broke down below these. We want a candle, a full body candle, get down here now. New week opening gap. There's the return to this guy. We don't have a body below it. We have a wick. I'm not a big fan of the wick getting below these things. I want to see a body get below it, but if it does work, look at that guy there to hold price inside that fair value gap with that order block holding, because that's the breaker. Up, down, below the low, swing, below the swings. Swing below, breaker. Swing below, inside that breaker, inside here, threshold. I want to see a body get down here. It's that order block, threshold, hold. Friday the 17th, new week opening gap. Okay, I got 4 more minutes, and then I gotta run. See how this is a consolidation before this big run up? We return to the top of it. If we return into 50% of that range, we're looking at taking out this thing here, which is where we're at right now. So if we take this range low to range high, draw it out there, and then hit equilibrium. $15,869, which is right here in your fair value gap. So if you dip into here, so equilibrium of that range is there. Look at the times we came back and tagged the near the top of it there. Body's respecting it. It's funny because that breaker, the top of the breaker is also the ceiling of those lows, and we haven't hit it yet. Which brings me back to my original thoughts about lunch hour. If we come back into that guy there again, that's those old lows. We have a little swing down. 11:30. 8. Well, that's it for me, guys. I gotta head off to the doctors. But Adam, you now have access to the, or anybody else who's watching, you have access to the Skype channel. It'll be up there for a few more seconds because I'm about to close this out. And I will see you guys. I'm done for now. Be back for the PM session. Yeah, I wish you guys all the best, and pop in some comments into the Skype thing so I can live vicariously through you guys when I get back. I won't be back till later on this evening, so I will be back out here again tomorrow for the Friday looky-loo for how the week closes up, and we'll see if we can get one of those TGF Fridays or retracement, because we've had such a big run down this today that we might get that 25 to 30% retracement back into the weekly range. We'll see if we can catch a TGF Friday tomorrow. But until then, thank you so much, guys. It's been fun. Thank you, Jody, for turning up. And you're risking the bravery of trying to watch a bunch of guys stare at candles all day. Hopefully you learned a little bit today. And we will keep adding more to Jody's knowledge as she goes through this. And Derek, thanks for bringing your family into the session. It was awesome. This is the kind of love I love to see. This kind of people sharing knowledge, helping each other out, trying to make it through the world. I love it. This is what it's all about for me. Thank you so much, everybody, for popping in, and we will see you tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm really enjoying this community. You guys make it fun to get up every day and meet up with you. So this community is exactly the way I'd like it to be. This is beautiful. Thank you much. Thank you. And Lauriston, have a great day. Happy birthday again, buddy. I know it's a day late, but happy birthday. Wish you all the best. Have a great day today. And Adam, thanks for popping in. And Rizwan, we missed the Rizwan. And yeah, but we got some new people today, so that was fun. Thanks again, and